Collins and Honorable Mr. Fawarity. Honorable Deputy Speaker, the presiding officer, honorable members of the Honorable House of Representatives, there are 38 honorable members present, 25 absent, 3 members excused, 7 members suspended. Thank you very much.
Distinguished colleagues, 38 members present constitute a quorum for the order of business, and it is hereby so ordered. Reading correction, amendment, and action of the agenda.
Just join us. I'd like to say welcome to ELBC, LNTV, Liberia Live. My name is Yasna Suba and I'm bringing forth this live broadcast from the executive pavilion with the House of Representatives. Somebody host its regular section. However, let us now join Deputy Chief Clerk and we can bring you updates from the agenda.
5 call for petition. Under that, we have a petition from the residents of Louisiana Township and concerned Liberian business men and women from District Number 1, Monserrate County. 6 call for standing committee report. 7 call for special committee report. 8 call for motion, bills, and resolution. 9 business or speaker's desk. Under that, we have A, communication from Honorable Nyan G. Flomo, Representative Electoral District Number 2, Nima County, calling for the resumption of audit system of the House of Representatives. B, communication from Honorable James M. Fuller, Representative Electoral District Number 2, Bon County, craving an indulgence of plenary to invite the Ministers of Public Works, Justice, Director General National Road Fund, and LPRC to provide updates on the schedule for payments of the road fund. C, communication from Honorable Alexander Paul, Representative Electoral District Number 1, River G County, craving an indulgence of plenary to invite the Director General of CSA and the Minister of Internal Affairs to provide clarity on payroll irregularities. D, communications from Honorable Moema Briggs Menza, Representative Electoral District Number 6, Bon County. 1, expressing concern regarding the accuracy and transparency of the asset declaration process. And 2, requesting for the review and publication of government payrolls. E, communication from Honorable Margaret N. Thomas, Representative Electoral District Number 4, Monserrate County, craving an indulgence of plenary to invite the management of Mano Oil Palm Plantation to state reasons why they defaulted in adhering to the provisions of the NDA. F, communication from Honorable J. Clarence Banks, Representative Electoral District Number 2, Grand Bassa County, craving an indulgence of plenary to invite Mr. Rudolph Marek, Managing Director of FDA, Mrs. Gertrude Yele, Deputy Managing Director for Operation, former Technical Director for Community Forestry, Mr. B. N. Johnson, General Manager of WADE, that is WAFDR, and Mr. Ellis Yele, Manager L&S Black, to address the issue of the 2 companies' operations in a district for 5 years without meeting up with social agreement. G, communication from Honorable Emmanuel Jam, Representative Electoral District Number 7, Monserrate County, making a clarion call on the House of Representatives to invite the Executive Director Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, Dr. Emmanuel Yure Yabalo, and Honorable Augustine K. Gafua, Minister of Finance and Development Planning, to provide status update on the $25.6 million coastal defense project that was launched in 2021. Communication from Honorable Muhammad Briggs Spencer, Representative Electoral District number 6, Bond County, requesting for review of concessions and compliance evaluation. 10, miscellaneous. 11, adjournment. Honorable Presiding Officer, Co-Presiding Officer, distinguished honorable ladies and gentlemen, that is the reading of the draft agenda for today's business day, the 12-day sitting. Thank you, sir.
Distinguished colleagues, having listened to the reading of the draft agenda has been read. What is your real pleasure? Honorable Formula.
So folks, we just listened to the reading of the draft agenda for today's section. So let us now go to the lawmaker for the family.
The agenda just read. I move, if I can obtain the second, that the agenda item H be moved to A, and that of E be moved to B. And the committee standard initial maritime be moved to C. And in that order, the agenda should be adopted in such order.
Distinguished colleagues who listen to the motion made, our distinguished colleagues, if all of the adjustment, are you ready to vote? All those in favor of the motion, say yeah. Already, Honorable Claire. Honorable Claire, please state your readiness.
Honorable Presiding, Co-Presiding, distinguished colleagues, I will be ready to vote if you can accept, the movement can accept the amendment that an update as was agreed last week, this week Tuesday, for our colleagues who are defiantly not coming to work, even then serve notice of the number of days of absence from work, along with the appropriate citation of the rules, and our colleagues that were suspended but defiantly contravene the mandate of their suspension still being seen at the premises of the legislature. I will be ready to vote if the movement can permit said information be placed on the agenda on the miscellaneous so that we can discuss and have a decision taken on it, if the movement can so accept.
From the great man of District number 2, Bond County, I so accept.
Already.
Mr. Presiding, Co-Presiding, distinguished colleagues, to the movement, I'll be ready to vote. Were we to consider this important national issue also under miscellaneous, since there is no official communication from any of us because of the interval of the occurrence of the event, that we placed on the agenda the issue that happened yesterday between members of the armed forces of Liberia and the Liberia National Police. It's a serious national issue, and that should concern all of us. So I will move that you please accept the movement. We'll discuss that. The movement.
To my brother, Emmanuel Dan.
There is a communication to that effect.
There is a communication to that effect. Are you stating your readiness into that communication?
To have that communication be part of our agenda for today.
If you are asking for that communication to be part of our agenda, so in the order stated, say communication should be placed on E. And that's what I said.
Honorable Austin Taylor.
Honorable Deputy Speaker, Honorable Co-Presiding and distinguished colleagues, to the movement, I'll be ready to vote if you could accept this simple amendment that the communication written by Honorable James Colette that speaks to the rift between the AFL and police that happened yesterday be placed on the agenda under item C. I'll be ready.
It was accepted, so
You were accepted and placed on item E.
Honorable Soka.
Okay, I accept it.
So reject.
Our presiding, co-presiding, distinguished colleague to the movement, I learned clearly that you were trying to incorporate an item. I will be ready to vote if you allow this simple amendment and a report from the Committee on Maritime be placed on item 7, which is called for special committee's report. If you could kindly accept a simple amendment, the movement. The report on maritime.
So I said.
Thank you.
With all of the amendments, are you ready to vote? All those in favor of the agenda be adopted, please indicate by saying yea. Against. The agenda is being adopted. Call for petitions. I will tell you, please approach the chair.
Yes, sir.
Proceed, Madam Chief Clerk.
Honorable Midra N. Seal, Chief Clerk, House of Representatives, Capitol Building, Monrovia. Dear Honorable Seal, petitions from the residents of Louisiana Township, District Number 1, Monserrado County, and concerned Liberian businessmen and women. I present compliments on behalf of the residents of District Number 1, Monserrado County. The attached petitions are hereby presented to your honorable office from the residents of Sabah Town, Gotolo Town, Benjamin Town, Wawa Town, Yofopolo, South Town, Second Ward, Louisiana Township, District Number 1, Monserrado County, against Mr. Blama Wright and others and the concerned Liberian businessmen and women. The peaceful residents of these communities have been continuously harassed by Mr. Blama Wright and his cohorts, which forced many of them to flee their homes into bushes for safety of their lives. Blama Wright claims that he owns the entire land in these communities, and any structure built on the land without his consent is illegal. Therefore, for the past couple of years, he has been harassed, meted brutality on the peaceful residents, demolishing their properties and terrorizing the residents in these communities. The case in point is one pastor, Alfred Sawini, where he ordered the demolition of his school building and private residence and is currently constructing what he referred to as a clinic on the land. As regards the petition from the concerned Liberian businessmen and women, the issue of standard building materials on the Liberian market has been brought to our attention. As representative of the people of District Number 1, I view these matters with great concern and urge plenary to take decisive action to resolve these unfortunate situations. Thanks for your prompt action. Signed, Committee on Claims and Petition. The petition. February 20, 2025. Honorable Rachel Nawe-Kun, Speaker, members of the National 55th Legislature, Republic of Liberia. Dear Honorable Speaker and members, we write to formally inform you the honorable body of the numerous vehement violence, behavior, and harassment being meted against the peaceful citizens of Sabah Town, Gotolo Town, Benjamin Town, War Town, Yofo Polo South Town, Sekwa, War, Louisiana, by Blama Wright and Gens. We, the people of the above towns, have decided to present our petition to your honorable body for a speedy intervention so that our people will leave the various butchers where they have been forced to take refuge for safety. Based on the following of the many numerous violations against our peaceful citizens by Blama Wright and Gens, who some of them have lost their lives. 1. Constant harassment of citizens. 2. Destruction of our homes. 3. Beating on people resulting to serious injuries where some have even lost their lives. Signed by several persons with their phone numbers. Honorable Speaker, or Presiding Officer, Co-Presiding Officer, a petition statement by the concerned Liberian businessmen and women. The concerned Liberian businessmen and women are deeply concerned about the proliferation of substandard building materials in the country. The use of such materials poses a serious threat to the safety and security of our citizens, as well as hinders the progress and development of our infrastructure. We must take swift action to address this issue and ensure that only high-quality building materials are used in construction projects. The production and sale of sustainable materials must be strictly regulated, and those found to violate quality standards must be held accountable. Foreign entities, especially Seti Brothers Incorporated, have dominated the steel raw market in Liberia, driving local businesses out and depriving our economy of valuable opportunities.
Yes, it's a petition. Proceed.
Foreign entities, especially Seti Brothers Incorporated, have dominated the steel raw market in Liberia, driving local businesses out and depriving our economy of valuable opportunities for growth and development. Furthermore, the substandard quality of these imported materials and the increase in steel raw prices by Seti Brothers Company pose a serious risk to the safety and stability of our buildings and infrastructure. We, the concerned Liberian businessmen and women, now therefore make the following recommendations to you, our esteemed representatives of the 55th Legislature. 1. Implement strict regulations and standards for the production of steel rods and other building materials to ensure they meet quality and safety standards. 2. Conduct regular inspections and audits of manufacturing plants to ensure compliance with regulations and to prevent the production of substandard products. 3. Enforce heavy penalties and funds for companies owned producing substandard materials to deter such practices. 4. Encourage and support local manufacturing companies to increase competition and quality in the market. 5. Restrict foreign companies from monopolizing the business sector and limit their control over production and distribution. 6. Implement policies to promote fair competition and level the playing field for both local and foreign companies. 7. Provide incentives and support for local businesses to enhance their capacity and quality standards in the manufacturing sector. 8. Increase transparency and accountability in the business sector to prevent corruption and unfair practices. 9. Engage with stakeholders, including industry experts and consumer groups, to gather feedback and recommendations on improving the quality of building materials. 10. Work towards building a strong regulatory framework and enforcement mechanisms to protect consumers and promote a sustainable and competitive market for building materials. We, concerned Liberian businessmen and women, respectfully petition the legislature to address the issue of foreign monopolies in the business sector, particularly in the production of substandard steel rods and other building materials. We urge all stakeholders in the construction industry to prioritize the use of quality materials and to actively participate in efforts to eliminate the production and use of such standard materials. The safety and well-being of our citizens must always be our top priority, and we must work together to ensure that our buildings and infrastructure are built to the highest standards. We urge the legislature to take immediate action to regulate and restrict foreign monopolies in the business sector and to mandate strict quality controls for producing and importing steel rods and other building materials. Liberia's economic independence and the safety and well-being of its citizens are at stake, and we implore our representatives to prioritize the interests of the Liberian people over those of foreign corporations. We trust the legislature will hear our concern and take decisive action to address this urgent issue. Thank you. Honorable Presiding Officer, Co-Presiding Officer, distinguished honorable ladies and gentlemen, those are the reading of two petitions from the citizens of Louisiana Township and the concerned Liberian businessmen and women. Thank you, sir.
Distinguished colleagues, you listen to the reading of two separate petitions being read. What is your pleasure?
District number 1, Louisiana, and the other one is from the Liberian business men and women. And that communication was particularly about the SETI, brother. However, let us now move to the floor for the views. Sampling here by serious lawmakers, and the first person on the motion is Honorable for the family.
Having listened to the reading of the two petitions, I move, if I can take a second. Yeah. The first aspect that has to do with the township petition, we move to the Committee on Claims and Petition. With that of industry, claims and petition, 2 judiciary, 3 lay authority. On the first petition, the second petition. Lay authority.
Landmarks of good governance, either of them.
I so move.
What's the second one? What is the second one? That has to do with substandard materials.
That the second petition be moved to the Committee on Commerce and Industry and that of Investment and Concession.
Distinguished colleagues listening, the motion, are you ready to vote?
Already.
Honorable Pristo.
Honorable Presiding, co-presiding, distinguished colleagues, I will be ready
Please be attentive, Honorable Family.
I will be ready to vote if you can add the Committee on Internal Affairs toward the people of Louisiana case and add the Committee on Claims and Petition. And also for the issue that require the substandard products that are produced by Seti Brother and other companies in our country, I will be ready to vote if you can add the Committee on Contracts, Monopoly, and Concession.
So reject.
With the rejection, distinguished colleagues, are you ready to vote?
Ready.
Honorable Yan Flomo. Honorable Flomo, please.
Honorable Deputy Speaker and Presiding Officer, co-presiding, distinguished colleagues. To the movement, I will be ready to vote if the petition regarding the land issue can be addressed in this manner. The Land Authority Act, Section 8.1c, gives it the mandate to adjudicate land issues in Liberia. So I will be ready to vote if the movement can accept this amendment, where the issue raised by that community can be addressed by us mandating the land authority to go and investigate the situation and get back to plenary with his report in 2 weeks' time.
What you just said,
We mandate the land authority, given that they have that statutory responsibility to adjudicate land matters, so that.
Honorable Yan Flomo.
Yes, sir.
Are you suggesting the oversight responsibility should be neglected and taken over to the land authority?
No, I'm saying the committee that set up to look at it should mandate the land authority to report back in a specific period.
That should be part of the work.
So that's my contribution. Because they have the statutory mandate to do that.
So reject.
Okay,
With the rejection,
at least I raise it. Reject it because you want to
Honorable
reject.
Matthew Joe. Colleagues, please be reminded we are in section, please.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. To the movement, I will be ready to vote on the petition that has to do with the suspended materials on the market. That the Committee on Public Works be added on those committees that will be investigating, because Public Works is one of the committees that know the quality materials and that deal with quality material on our market. Thank you.
Colleagues, are you ready to vote? All those in favor of the motion with the amendment bill, say yeah. Against? Motion is carried. Thank you. Next. Call for standing committee's report.
Yes, sir.
Proceed.
Preliminary report on the Senate's proposed engrossed bill for the Liberia C&E Land Ports Decentralization and Modernization Standing Committee on Maritime Affairs. Introduction. in pursuant to the committee's fiduciary responsibilities, which entails legislative oversight within the Republic of Liberia for activities covering A. Marine and maritime affairs generally. B. IMO regulations and protocols. C. Navigation, collation at sea, ports, harbors, estuaries, and inland waterways. D. Perils at sea. E. Marine insurance and P&I coverage on ocean and river carriers and their cargoes. F. Oceanography. G. Registration and licensing of ships and all other watercrafts. H. Seafarers affairs generally. And I. All maritime related activities and regulations. The Committee on Maritime Affairs has exercised, exercised, and commenced the said oversight for the purpose of fulfilling its roles and responsibilities. The committee, having met on several occasions for its first stage of reviewing the above-mentioned proposed legislations entitled An Act Amending the Maritime Law and Restating an act to create an independent seaport and import regulatory authority to provide for the regulation and sustainable development of seaports and imports, inland ports, operations and services in Liberia, to facilitate a safer, orderly, and transport development of ports, facilities, and sea services for any other proposed incidental thereto, and to create the Liberia Sea and Inland Ports Regulatory Agency Act of 2024 and Liberia Sea and Inland Ports Decentralization and Modernization Report hereunder. Background. On November 26, 2024, on the 10-day sitting of the third quarter of the first section of the House of Representatives of the 55th Legislature of the Republic of Liberia, the acting chief, having received and read the Senate engrossed bill entitled An Act Amending the Maritime Law and Restating an Act to create an independent seaport and inland ports regulatory authority to provide for the regulation and sustainable development of seaports and inland ports, operations and services in Liberia, to facilitate a safer, orderly, and transparent development of port facilities and services for any other purpose incidental thereto, and to create a Liberia Sea and Inland Ports Regulatory Agency Act of 2024. And Liberia Sea and Inland Port Decentralization and Modernization. It was moved that the said engrossed bill be submitted to the Committee on Maritime Affairs and Ways, Means and Finance, and with the Committee on Maritime Affairs being the lead committee in order to review, investigate, and advise plenary on the possible concurrence or non-concurrence based on the findings of the committees, and such findings be submitted to plenary where it shall take a final decision. In keeping with the mandate of plenary on the above-mentioned date, the committee commenced for review of the said engrossed bill and herewith submit a preliminary report as follows. Overview. The National Port Authority was created pursuant to Chapter 1, Title 29A of the Liberian Code of Laws of 1956, now Title 30, as amended by the law of 1958 to 59, Public Authority Law. The National Port Authority includes and extends to the ports of Monrovia, Buchanan, Greenville, Harper, and such additional posts as the government of Liberia shall from time to time decide to and so construct or acquire within the territorial limits of the Republic. The National Port Authority was established and created to plan, design, construct, and engage in the development, maintenance, and operation of all public ports within Liberia, subject to articles and principles enumerated in the above act that gave rise to its creation. To carry out its function, the act also gave the NPA the greatest degree of financial and administrative authority to manage, operate, maintain, develop, and construct ports within the Republic, and all funds for services with which NPA renders and provides shall be under its sole and complete control. In addition, the NPA assumes the responsibilities and functions of the various government departments with respect to the operation and supervision of ports in the Republic of Liberia. Consistent with the above-named act that created the National Port Authority, it is indicated that the NPA shall have a board, a managing director, and other officers and staff to perform such duties as the board may determine. All powers of the National Port Authority shall be vested in the board consisting of 15 members, which includes the Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Transportation, the Ministry of Finance, the Ministry of Planning and Economic Affairs, who shall be ex officio members of the board. The Managing Director of the National Port Authority, C, 7 members at large appointed by the President, D, 4 representatives of a cross-section of the users of the ports in Liberia who shall be nominated by their respective groups subject to the approval and appointment of the President. The Senate, having submitted the act named, seeks to amend Chapter 6 of the Public Authority Law, creating the National Port Authority in order to decentralize the management and operation of sea and inland ports within the Republic, and to create a separate agency that regulates these decentralized ports. The committee's ongoing review. The committee, while reviewing the two acts, is taking into consideration the following: A, public interest. The positive and negative impacts the said act will have on Liberia as a whole. B, financial impact, cost-benefit ratio, and the financial effect on government's revenue in creating a new agency. C, current capacity of each port to finance for day-to-day operation, and at the same time modernize for infrastructure and equipment. D, current capacity of each port management and staff to understand the intricacies involved with stakeholders such as ship owners, caterers, and agents related to ship charter time period, charter party disputes emanating from turnaround time and demurrage. E, current capacity of port management and staff to understand the international maritime regulations and conventions related to SOLAS, MAPO, FA, RMSBC code, RMDG, etc. Conclusion. The committee, having now been fully constituted and in consideration of the fact that it has to gather sufficient information regarding the conditions, expertise, and situation at the above-named 4 ports, this committee has agreed to A, consider best practice in port and terminal management with regulation to Senate's in gross bill, and to what extent the port is allowed to regulate its activities and arrogate the function of other governmental agencies, including the Liberia Maritime Authority, in relation to the regulation of maritime and port activities. B. Evaluate the proficiency of the management team and general staff of each port, Monrovia, Buchanan, Greenville, and Harcourt, in respect to the operation and management of ports and terminal, and the implementation of applicable safety regulations and maritime protocols at the port facility, including RSPS protocol, blast water management, storm waves prevention and management, FAL convention, RMSBC, RMDs, DGX, etc. C. Assess the current financial productivity of each port and its potential in relation to effective and accurate revenue generation, and how the same is able to sustain its operation and further contribute immensely to the nation's revenue basket. D. Assess availability of navigational aids, handling equipment, top and pilot boats, mooring, bulwarks and fenders, etc. E. Assess availability of port control equipment, VGM weight bridges, continuum skinners, and PPEs. F. Assess the current availability and effectiveness of harbor masters and pilots per port. G. Assess the condition of port drafts, breakwaters, water salinity, dredge reports, port restriction, and port call schedules. H. Assess the consistency and reality of port tariff regimes and how often NPA port tariffs are updated. The committee has also strongly considered visiting at least 5 other effective regional and African ports in order to study their sustainable port regulatory and management models and apply the same locally to improve on our existing one. The preliminary report is issued on February 27, 2025 and signed Honorable Austin B. Taylor, Senior Chairman. Signed, Honorable Samson Q. Weir, Member Co-Chair. Signed, Honorable Prince Quena, Member. Signed, Honorable Ellis Job Grant, Member. Signed, and Honorable Martha M. Thomas, Members. Signed. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, distinguished honorable ladies and gentlemen, that is the preliminary report from the Committee on Maritime has just been read. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Deputy Chief Clerk. With the report, with the preliminary report for the Committee on Maritime, Honorable colleagues, what is your will and pleasure? Honorable Leader.
Honorable Speaker, Deputy Speaker, distinguished colleagues, we want to firstly commend this committee, the Committee on Maritime, for this detailed report. I think there's something that we have long awaited since this endorsed bill was sent to us. The Senate has also been waiting to see how we can concur on this bill because of its importance to our economy. Having said that,
Honorable Gigan, what's the law? Are you going to start getting over there?
Yeah, we have to do some consultation on our representative. Yeah, so, like I said, we move and we can obtain a second that this report be received and plenary presiding, we have understood that. All right, so I'm moving, and if I can obtain a second, that the report will be open for brief discussion, especially the recommendations made within this report. And subsequently, the committee be made to go back and conclude on all of the recommendations made here within this report, and report with the final version of the report within the next 2 weeks. For now, we're going to be open for brief discussion. If I can obtain a second.
With the motion made and then seconded, are you all ready to vote? Already, Honorable Menzi.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Deputy Speaker, and fellow colleagues, let me firstly commend the Committee on Maritime, chaired by my distinguished colleague from Maryland, Stanton, Austin, for a beautiful report and well compiled. For my unreadiness, I will be ready to vote if the movement can accept this simple amendment. Now, considering the nature of this bill and the importance to our economy, and considering the volume of the document being read by the committee, I will be ready to vote if this document can be accepted and copies of the report be shared with other members who are not part of the committee to allow us have or make our input, relevant input to this report, and the committee also work with the committee on ways and means, because I understand that there are some recommendations from the committee that are requesting for assessment. So let the committee work with the committee on ways and means to see the modality to ensure that the recommendations are implemented.
Thank you, distinguished honorable from Nima. If I got you right, instead of opening for a brief discussion, we allow the committee to go back, but in so doing, copies of the report be made available to colleagues. I so accept.
With the amendment made, are you all ready to vote?
Already.
Honorable Abba June.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding, Mr. Co-Presiding colleagues. If I got the unreadiness that was just accepted, a copy be made available, and the committee be made to report on another sitting, not today, in 2 weeks. So it means that the report will not be open for discussion. If that is the unreadiness, then I saw you. If not, it means that that becomes my unreadiness.
No, that was it. Yeah.
Already, Flomo. Yeah, Flomo.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Deputy Speaker, distinguished colleagues, to the movement, I will be ready to vote if subsequent review and activities regarding the bills will involve the Committee on the Judiciary. Listening to the report, we did hear that the judiciary was involved. And this being very critical, I believe that we need to get the judiciary involved from the beginning so that when we come back, it can be a holistic approach. to the movement.
To the distinguished gentleman from Nima District number 2, we just want you to be reminded a little bit that the committee started its work. This same plenary constituted the committee and they are working. So I think we should give them the chance instead of adding up, let them do that. So with that said, I so honorably rejected.
Humble bears. Okay. With all the amendment, are you ready to vote? All those in favor say yea. Against? All those in favor say yea. Against? Abstain? The vote is carried. How much you clap please act accordingly? Calls for special committee report.
No special committees reports.
Call for motion, bills, and resolution.
There are no bills, motions, or resolutions.
Business of speakers next.
Yes, sir.
As per the amendment, H is A in the adoption of the agenda. Honorable Richard Nawekum, Speaker, 55th National Legislature, Capitol Hill, Capitol Building, Monrovia, Liberia, 24 February 2025. Dear Honorable Kum, Deputy Speaker, Fala and colleagues, subject, request for review of concessions and compliance evaluation. I present compliments with high esteem. As the representative of Electoral District number 6, Bond County, I wish to bring to your attention a matter of urgent importance regarding the performance and compliance of all concessions granted in the country. I kindly request that the plenary of the 55th National Legislature undertake a comprehensive review of all concessions currently in effect, particularly focusing on their performance and adherence to the terms and conditions agreed upon prior to their prior to their acceptance by the government of Liberia. It is imperative that we assess the country's benefit from these concessions and evaluate the ratio of benefit between the investors and the nation. This review is essential to ensure that the terms of these agreements align with the long-term development goals of Liberia and that they contribute positively to the economic, social, and environmental welfare of our citizens. I respectfully urge that this matter be treated with the utmost seriousness and handled with urgency. The failure to do so will undermine the progress of our national development and hinder the country's potential to maximize the benefits from these agreements. Thank you for your attention to this crucial issue. I trust that with your leadership, we will be able to address this matter in a timely and efficient manner for the betterment of Liberia and its people. Sincerely, Honorable Moiman Briggs Menza, Representative Electoral District number 6, Bond County, Republic of Liberia. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, distinguished honorable ladies and gentlemen, that is the reading of a communication from your colleague, Honorable Moiman Briggs Menza. Thank you, sir.
Honorable colleagues, with the communication from our colleagues, Honorable Menza. Remember, Briggs Menza, who are also moving in contempt. What is the will and pleasure? Honorable Gideon.
Honorable Speaker, Deputy Speaker, distinguished colleagues, we again want to extend our thanks and appreciation to our dear colleague from Bond County. This issue, or these issues being flagged by her, a few months back, similar issues were raised. And I think there was a committee set up. But unfortunately, up to this point, we haven't heard anything from that committee. So for her to come up thinking and being so far-sighted that we need to discuss this issue, I think is something that we need to commend her for. And with that said, I move and I can obtain a second that the Speaker, in his wisdom, set up a joint committee.
You have to make the motion.
Yeah, in the past we had a specialized committee. So now we could do the joint committee. Yeah.
You have been moving second there.
No, not yet. Speaker. So we move and we obtain a second that there be a joint committee constituted to comprise of the Committee on Investment and Concession, Contract and Monopoly, Committee on Mines and Energy, Committee on Labor, and the Committee on Judiciary. If I can obtain a second.
A full amendment with two resources. With the motion made, are you ready to vote? Honorable Sekou Kane. Honorable Speaker, Deputy Speaker, fellow colleagues, to the movement, I will appreciate if you would accept a simple amendment to allow the proponent of the communication at least 2 minutes to deliberate on the intent of the communication that was sent. If they will accept that simple amendment.
Honorable, if you heard me praising our dear colleague, it was on the basis of the communication being self-explanatory. And because of that, I know that we all heard when the communication was being read. So because of that, please permit me to return. I so return.
Yes, Honorable Austin Taylor. And followed by Ernest Benson.
To the movement, I will be ready to vote for you to consider including, to the movement, I will be ready to vote for you to consider including the Committee on Maritime as a part of the joint committee, considering that there are port concessions that have been signed, and there are other port concessions that are on the table for negotiations as well.
I so reject.
Mr. Presiding, Mr. Co-Presiding, fellow colleague, to the movement, I will be ready to vote if you can consider this amendment. While I tend to agree with you on the establishment of committees, I also feel that we have, according to the report, we have over 30 to 40 different concessions across the country in different sectors. So as such, I will be ready to vote if we can break this committee down into subcommittees that will be responsible for specific sectors. Take for example, we have concessions in the mining sectors, we have concessions in the agriculture and forestry sector, we also have concessions in the maritime, commerce and industrial sector. We cannot have a single group of people that will be able to look at holistically all of these concessions. concessions agreement. So I feel that it's necessary that we break the committees down into subcommittees to be able to have a holistic approach when it comes to the review process of these concessions, if I can be accepted.
To the distinguished gentleman from NIMA, like I said, a joint committee. The committee has the responsibility to do all of the technical details that you just outlined. So those are activities, those are things that the committee will put in place to make the work easier. So I think it's inclusive of what we have said. So with that, I reject.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, distinguished colleagues, I take the floor first to commend the move of our distinguished gentleman from from Ball County for this communication. The need to review these concessions across the Republic cannot be understated nor overemphasized. It is enshrined in this MDA agreement, the periodicity. I wish this body of the country should review this concession. They come and there is evidences around that they are long overdue. Reason for which, some concessions and agreement are laying dormant, not performing, and no adjustment is made, and the people of Liberia deprived of the revenues, so forth. So I will move, if the movement can accept this simple amendment, that let the Committee on Agriculture be added to the committee, to be able to expand it. If you can accept it.
So the distinguished gentleman from Grandchildren, I think you being on the joint committee as a chair of minds, the Committee on Agriculture can speak through you. So with that, we reject.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Deputy Speaker, distinguished colleagues, to the great men from Lima, on the same motion, my readiness is that Honorable Faka and Honorable Member Briggs will be considered as resource people on a concession review committee.
So the amendment say, are you all ready to vote? All those in favor say yea, against, abstain. The vote is carried. Honorable Chief Clerk, we act accordingly. Next.
Communication from Honorable Margaret M. Thomas. Anthony.
Is the proposal here?
Honorable Richard, now we find
This is the firm.
Then we move to communication from Honorable Yang Flomo. Honorable Richard Naweku, Speaker, Honorable House of Representatives, 55th Liberia Legislature, Capitol Building, Monrovia, Liberia. Reference. Call for resumption of the system audit of the House of Representatives. Dear Honorable Speaker, with esteemed conviction, I bring you and members of the Honorable House of Representatives warm greetings and right to crave the indulgence of this august body to call for a system audit of the House of Representatives. Mr. Speaker and distinguished colleagues, Chapter 2, Article 5, Subsection C of the 1986 Constitution of Liberia, quote-unquote, the Republic shall take steps by legislation and execute orders to eliminate sectionalism and tribalism and such abuses of power as the misuse of government resources, nepotism, and all other corrupt practices, thus giving the burden of governance reform to the Liberia Legislature. Additionally, the House's Rule 44.1 states, quote-unquote, members are expected to fight corruption effectively by being free from corrupt practices and opposing corruption and set example in any anti-corruption struggle. It can be recalled that an effort to conduct an audit of the House of Representatives by the General Auditing Commission (GAC) were abruptly called off last year without explanations. Such an action and any further delay in resuming the exercise will portray this honorable body as not willing to lead the charge in the fight against corruption. Against this background, this communication serves as a wake-up call for the People's Deputy to demonstrate their willingness to tackle the menace of corruption that continues to undermine the growth and development of our dear country. With assurance of the highest esteem, I remain sincerely yours, Honorable Nyan G. Flomo, Representative District Number 2, Nima County. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, distinguished honorable ladies and gentlemen, that is a reading of a communication from Honorable Nyan G. Flomo, your colleague. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, Deputy Chief Clerk. Honorable colleagues, with the communication from our colleague, Nyan G. Flomo, what is a great pleasure. Honorable Siaba Koto.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, honorable colleagues, after hearing the reading from our learned colleague from Niba County, my uncle-in-law, I move, if I can obtain a second, that we give 5 minutes to the proponent to elasticize and elucidate, expatiate, after which plenary can take a decision on the issue, if I can obtain a second.
The motion proposed, are you ready to vote? All those in favor say yea, against, abstain, Honorable Flomo, take the lead, sir.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Deputy Speaker, my esteemed colleagues, it's no secret that out there, rightly or wrongly, we members of the House of Representatives or members of the Legislature are perceived as being corrupt. With Chapter 2 of the Liberian Constitution, especially subsection 5C, mandating us that we should fight corruption through the requisite legislation, I think it gives us the burden to lead a charge. We didn't start there. In our own rules for the 4.1 is clearly stated. So the what we will be waiting for, if we can allow ourselves to be audited, how can we, if we are not audited, can exercise the oversight of government reform? I think the statement I carried that begins at home can be practiced by this honorable House of Representatives. Additionally, it was one of those issues that we raised against former Speaker Kofi. So having taken it out of power because of this, are we going to do business as usual? Or are we going to convince the Liberian people that we stood on the fight because we know that corruption is tarnishing the reputation of this country, and the House of Representatives, the legislature, being the first branch of government, is being portrayed and run for the proceed. And that's why I'm passionately appealing to all of you guys, so that you can join me for us to resume the audit that was started sometime last year, and which is a public call. I saw submit. Thank you so much.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, distinguished colleague, to the proponent of this communication as it relates to setting this policy system at the county house, I want to say thank you. But remember, last week, Honorable P. Marjorie put the communication on the phone for the establishment of an internal audit department within the house. And the establishment of the internal audit department in the house will create a platform that will set up a system and do the risk analysis and create a platform for what? The safeguarding of our assets. So I think we can take into consideration what he has said and give the committee a chance, the PSC committee that has the oversight responsibility to make sure that the department is set up through primary to give the leeway of authority. We know we have been here in the corridor that the house is corrupt, but the Lord evidence has come far. We are having oversight responsibility of what executive we are there for which the GSC has been reported to us to review some of the performances. So we want to put that action in place or create a department. So let us get the chance that a department can be created that will create a platform for safeguarding the assets that will create transparency with the house. So I want to say thank you for that GSC opportunity to do this. Thank you for that opportunity.
I will be my jury. I will be my jury.
Mr. Presiding, co-presiding, fellow colleagues, I'd like to say thank you to the honorable gentleman and people from Nimba for bringing forth about outage of the House of Representatives. In our legislative language, we often say surplusage does not vitiate. Last week, we put on the floor here to establish an internal audit. And the reason for establishing the internal audit is for us to set in place a system, set in place procedures, set in place practices, set in place recording procedures that do not exist. And that will give right for us to do the audit. Again, thanks to the gentleman for flagging this issue. In a week, within a week's time, the report for the establishment of the internal audit system will be done, and therefore we do agree with you that this house must be audited. But to do it, we have to do it step by step. Thank you.
Our Speaker, our Deputy Speaker, distinguished colleagues, let me comment first of all the communication coming from our distinguished colleagues from Nimba County. The need for transparency and accountability in the lower house cannot be overemphasized. It's an open secret that as the first branch of government, and we ought to be able to assess ourselves in a more transparent way. So when it comes to financial management, of course we understand that all financial transactions that lead to disbursement or receiving of revenue whatsoever, the most important thing is to look forward is the control, and that control design is very important, because it is important to know that who approves, who authorizes, who supposes. So we recognize that. Now over the years, this house there might be scanty or superficial control in place, maybe orally in place. And there is no documentary evidence that we can peruse to know that there is a design. I think that was in the wisdom of the current ways and means to purport a communication that we all looked at last week. The very first and fundamental step to this direction in regard is the creation of an internal audit department. We must applaud ourselves that we are setting the stage and the tone to be able to account and transparently report on what we do and erase this perceived perception that the horse is involved into shady activities. With that said, I think it's important to give time to this department to establish and equip it with the relevant skill sets and people that will be able to design the control which will serve as a spectrum for any external audit to come and be able to have the financial documentation and something to judge by. With that said, if I can be allowed to move forward,
Honorable Presiding, co-presiding, and distinguished colleagues, I want to take us to something very important. What we are looking at now is what we call public perception. We have our people out there who were sent here to work. We were sent here to work in the interest of our people. In the budget, we have what we call budget shading. We are.
What is the point of order, gentlemen?
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, distinguished colleagues. Honorable Speaker, my point of order to the gentleman from Maserati is that under our legislative practice, when you rise you speak either on the point of order, on the point of information, but the gentleman just speaking, we don't know on what basis he's speaking. What are you raising information?
Already done.
Sorry, police. No, sorry, police. The guy there on the public policy, you can tell me about parliamentary procedures. So my point is this, police. We have what we call budget shading, and we are the craft of the budget. In the budget, we have 7.5% allotted to us. Then we are saying to the library people, we will do our own investigation. I think that is wrong and is against our people's interest. So I support Honorable Yang that we have an anti-graft institution. I support Honorable Yang that we have an anti-graft institution.
Honorable Speaker, Deputy Speaker, my point of order to the distinguished gentleman from Monterrey is that he's speaking against plenary decision. Plenary took an action on this matter, on the establishment.
No, he's making his input on this matter.
That is wrong. That what plenary, the decision plenary took is wrong.
That's why it's already done.
In our life, we had the same group. We had independent audit. I remember during the COVID period, and we all went against the independent audit. And we are against saying that we should create a department. We are against saying that we should create a department. We are against saying that we should create a department.
Order, I recognize Honorable a point of order to the gentleman.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, my point of order has to do with a gentleman from Maserati County stating that during Honorable Deputy Speaker turn, all of us went against audit. At no time that this house, this honorable House of Representatives went against audit. I just want to very correct it.
Noted.
So you take it back, please.
All right, I'll take it back. But you people support it again. You support the independent audit. You support the independent audit, your own audit. And I'm telling you now that we need to get it to the government, anti-bank institution. Let it do the audit. Let it investigate us. Let the house to investigate themselves. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. President, co-presiding, distinguished colleagues, I believe all of us sitting here, first I'd like to say thank you to the colleague who wrote this communication calling for accountability. And I want to pledge my 100% support to this cause. It embarrasses some of us when we listen to the public making generalization statements that all of them are corrupt. Even though I am not aware that even some of us are corrupt. It embarrasses us, and I'm a member of this body. I know I have not been involved with any corrupt practice yet, and I'm aware that I have no information as to whether any of us has been involved with such. I feel we must be open to this audit. We have a committee inspecting different institutions. We call these people, we go through the audit reports, and we make decisions as if no problem with us as this body. Also calling for accountability and transparency by auditing ourselves. I want
information.
My information comes from the background that I want our police to understand that no one in the house afraid of audit, but they should understand the procedure as it was regularly stated about the chair on ways and means. You should create a platform. Create a platform that will do this, that will check them, that will recognize it,
It's when the water is just more than my time.
The information we're getting, we are saying that our colleague should understand that there is a communication in committee room for the establishment of the Department of Internal Audit.
So there is a general view to that. Let us
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Deputy Speaker, distinguished colleagues, we have come to put in place changes that we need to see. My information has to do with the essence of why we believe we need system, and this house need to be audited. We have come to lay the foundation for that process as accounting. We believe the issues about the Committee on Judiciary has laid the foundation, setting up the internal audit division that this house will be audited. All of us support the audit of this house. We believe it was one of the reasons why today that this house has not been audited in the past. So all of us need to support that direction and that spirit of the Speaker to ensure that this house is audited. Thank you.
Continuation. Thank you, Mr. President. For the fact that you endorse the communication from our colleagues being on the agenda means all of us and you are also open to transparency and accountability for the fact that you approved that communication. All of us should be able to support that. The issue of internal audit department at the House of Representatives is far different from asking the GSC to come and audit the House of Representatives. Let us not contradict ourselves here. Yes, we support the internal auditing department, but this communication from our colleague of Nipa County is asking the anti-government institutions of this country to audit the House of Representatives. For the fact that it's on the agenda, it is time for all of us to give our support to that. It is embarrassing that people continue to call us corrupt. People think we are criminals, and for some of us we have nothing to do with criminality. It is time for us to support that.
Please continue. Honorable please.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, Honorable colleagues, in order to have the way forward for the public, and because of the nature of this issue raised by my colleagues from Nipa County, I move, if I can obtain a second, that while awaiting the internal audit system to be set up in the House, we ask PAC to liaise or work with the GSC to proceed with the audit. If I can appeal a second.
With the motion of being seconded, what is are you not ready for? All those in favor say yea, against, abstain, the vote is carried. I will chief let me act accordingly. PAC, please liaise with GSC to start the audit while we await the establishment of the internal audit department. Next. Next.
Communication from Honorable James Cullen. Honorable Richard Naweku, Speaker, House of Representatives, 55th Legislature, Capitol Hill, Monrovia, Liberia.
Honorable gentlemen, please have a seat. The honorable gentleman from Rwachee County, the honorable gentleman from Wasserman County, the honorable gentleman from South County, please have your seats. Continue the legislature.
Dear Honorable Speaker, it is my understanding that under the former government, a number of delinquent debtors in arrears with the National Road Fund reached out to Councillor Musa Day, former Minister of Justice and Attorney General of the Republic of Liberia, appealing for some considerations to be given to them so that they could settle their debts through stipulated payment plans. As a consequence of their appeal, the former Minister of Justice entered into agreements with these delinquent institutions. Mr. Speaker and distinguished colleagues, since the signing of these payment plans, much has not been heard about compliance. It is in this vein that I am requesting plenary to kindly invite the following institutions to appear and provide updates on the payment plans of these delinquent debtors and their balances to date. 1. The Ministry of Justice. 2. The National Road Fund. 3. The Liberia Petroleum Refining Company, LPRC. 4. The Ministry of Public Works, MPWU. Very sincerely, James M. Cullen, Representative, District Number 2, Bon County. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, distinguished honorable ladies and gentlemen, That is the reading of the communication from your colleague, Honorable James N. Colette. Thank you, sir.
With the communication from Honorable Colette, what is the very pleasure of our colleagues? I recognize Honorable Johnson William. Sorry, other side, other side.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, having listened to the concerns from the floor as chair on gender, I want to yield to one of the females, Honorable Barry.
The letter from the Honorable Gentleman, Honorable James Colette. I move, if I can obtain a second, that this communication, the proponent of this communication be given 5 minutes to expound on his letter, his communication.
It has been moved and seconded that the proponent be given 2-3 minutes to expand on his communication. Are you all ready to vote? All those in favor say yea, against, abstain to the proponent.
Mr. Speaker and presiding, Mr. Deputy Speaker and co-presiding distinguished colleagues, let me say thank you to the presiding and my colleagues for affording me the opportunity for the concern of the people of District Number 2, Jogora Chiefdom, to be heard at this time. It has come to the attention of the people of District Number 2, Bond County, that there are delinquent debtors who refused to pay the funding that was set aside by law called the National Road Fund. This is the money, in my mind, intended to develop this country. Road users, importer of petroleums, and the rest of it are entitled to pay this money. And by paying this money, it will help in the developmental agenda of this country. But it will interest you, Honorable Presiding, Co-Presiding, and colleagues, that there are people over the years that haven't paid a dime. Some of them have paid some, and some of them are not yet paying. I come by to remind you that this payment is not at the satisfaction of business entity. It is by law. It is mandatory. It is demanding that this payment be made. The last time I tried the National Road Fund, I observed several entities in Liberia were indebted. They haven't paid a dime. Against that background, those things to be corrected, but the Minister of Justice do not have the authority. However, they went to work and had a memorandum of understanding or stipulation of payment. The payment plan was made by the Minister of Justice, then Councillor Musa Dean, for those entities or institutions that were indebted to the government of Liberia with the National Road Fund, referred to as delinquent debtors who refused to pay. They were given a schedule of their payment. It will interest us, colleagues, that some of those institutions have gone to work, they have paid their debt, they will owe the government of Liberia. It will also interest you to know some have started paying but they have a very slow pace in payment, thereby violating or contravening the payment plan that was made with their acquaintances with the Minister of Justice. And lastly, this will not interest you, but rather will discourage you to note that some entities hasn't paid a dime since the payment stipulation plan by the Ministry of Justice. I see it now as a defiant, I see them now as deviant, but I see it as tax eviction. And I think tax eviction under our law is a crime. So we cannot sit here as deputies of the people whom we have come to represent, the people we know clearly invading the taxes of these people that should have been used to build a road from here to Bapolo County, from here to Cape Mount, from Bassa to Riverses, and the list goes on. But yet, they are enriching themselves with it, and they have no means of payment, and they're using their authority or their connection with officials of government to deprive our people. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Deputy Colleagues, before I drop the microphone, permit me to acknowledge every one of us here that if we have not taken anything serious, this one should be taken serious. Because this is about building this nation. Right now, the budget that we pass, we have a slightly a belief that there might be a shortage. Why will we have shortage and people owing us, they cannot pay our money? So, Mr. Speaker, Deputy Colleagues, I think it is pretty enough for the National Road Fund, the Ministry of Public Works, the Ministry of Justice, and the Liberia Petroleum Refining Company, in short, LPRC, to appear before this August body, not only for a mere appearance, but for the following reasons to wait. One, to give us a comprehensive report of the payment plan that was made. To also tell us those entities that are in compliance of said payment and the balances of them. To also tell us those that continue to live in a stage of delinquent payment, and that disciplinary, the deputies of the people can take the appropriate measures in ensuring that our people's money is paid and it is used for the internal purpose, then using it with multinational or transnational corporations around here. They fly here and there when the intent of the road fund is not being met. Honorable Deputy, Honorable Speaker, distinguished colleagues, while I take my seat, I will lastly want to conclude, because conclusion is a matter of burst, by saying to our colleagues, this is the time we act. This is the time the perpetrators may be brought to book. This is the time the National Road Fund, those delinquent debtors must pay. If they cannot pay, this plan will take the appropriate action. Thank you so much.
Honorable Bruce Benza.
Bonkante. It's a Bonkante affair. Thank you. I will protect your colleague. So thank you, Honorable Colleague, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, my distinguished colleague. Honorable Colleague, your communication is timely enough. Because looking at the situation we face right now, our budget, 30% of our budget is being supported by donors and other partners. And looking at us now, going through revision, everything has been put to halt. We cannot have the resources and things we're supposed to benefit from in this country, other people owing it and enjoying and living fabulous lives, and the commoners are suffering. The market women cannot get the produce from Topapolu to come with it because the roads are not good. So I will appeal to the conscience of my colleague to make sure that this communication be treated with very seriousness, that these people come and tell us where are we with all of the debts and everything from the road fund, and from there we can have a committee to make a serious follow-up
with these money that when they come in government covered, the needs of the citizens can be met. So thank you, my colleague from Bon County, for being so far-sighted. And I ask that the gavel of the speaker and the deputy act on there with the consent of our colleague that these people come and give a proper all day. But where are we today? Thank you. Wait for one, put that positive.
Okay, wait for.
Yeah. So distinguished by the honorable speaker. Honorable speaker, deputy speaker.
No, I want to.
If I can be seconded by my colleague, I move that on Thursday, the Minister of Public Works, the Minister of Justice, the Director of the Road Fund, and the Managing Director of APRC appear to this plenary to give our insight of the pending debts of this country on the road fund, and we can proceed with investigation to see how the money can be paid. If I can be seconded.
Have been moved and seconded by the honorable lady. What is that? Are you already on the phone? Honorable Abaju.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding, Mr. Co-Presiding Colleagues. To the movement, the Honorable General Lady from Bon County, I will be ready to vote for you to consider this amendment. That LRA is clothed with the authority to collect all revenues of government, and the amount in question is being collected by LRA. So I will be ready to vote for you to include on the list of the invitees. LRA.
When my distinguished colleague that is a contributor to the resources of this country, he is a business owner, talk about it, I so accept.
Yeah. Honorable Speaker, Deputy Speaker, distinguished colleagues, to the movement, knowing that we have some planned activities for next week. Honorable movement, knowing that we have some planned activities for next week, I will be ready to vote if we can do an adjustment within the time that these people, since indeed they're not going to bring a lot of documents being required, just to come and confirm some of the things that have been spoken about. I think we can have them come on Tuesday of next week instead of Thursday. So if we can accept that.
My dear Glicker, you know, there's a number we have in common 66, so I so accept.
Thank you.
To the amendment, are you all ready to vote? All those in favor say yea, against, and abstain. The vote is carried. Honorable Chief Clerk, please act accordingly. Honorable colleagues, I'd like to bring your attention. Michael, order. Honorable colleagues, I'd like to bring your attention. We have the asset declaration form available. Please pick a copy for the Chief Clerk office. After section, on Tuesday, Deputy and I will take the lead to do our asset declaration. All those are not taking the assets, please pick up the form for the Chief Clerk office and accompany us Tuesday morning as we go to declare our assets. Thank you so very much. Next.
Communication from Honorable Kola, the second communication. As for the amendment, Honorable Rachel Nabeku, Speaker, House of Representatives, 55th Legislature, Capital Building, Capital Hill, Monrovia, Liberia. Dear Mr. Speaker and distinguished colleagues, yesterday evening, on February 26, 2025, Monrovia came to an incredible standstill, witnessing an embarrassing stampede between officers of the Liberian National Police and the armed forces of Liberia. This stampede blew out of proportion and resulted into the brutalization of officers of the Liberian National Police, wherein they were mercilessly flogged and dragged on bare grounds by officers of the armed forces of Liberia. Mr. Speaker and distinguished colleagues, I am deeply troubled and saddened by this situation and especially concerned at why and how the armed forces of Liberia broke out of the barracks, took to the streets, and went on the rampage. My heart is bleeding, and I know that the great people of Joplin District Number 2 in Bon County are particularly troubled and concerned about this ugly situation. In view of the foregoing, I am requesting this august body to invite, as a matter of urgency, authorities of the Ministry of Justice, the Liberian National Police, the Ministry of National Defense, the Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of Liberia, and the National Security Advisor to the President to appear before this plenary and explain why they had to put Monrovia in a state of jeopardy. The particular officer of the Armed Forces of Liberia, under whose command the army ran amok, is a subject of concern to me. The late evening actions of the AFL yesterday did not only shock Monrovia, it also sent waves of fears throughout the Republic as Monrovia is critically connected to the north and corners of Liberia, nook and corners of Liberia. Mr. Speaker and distinguished colleagues, if this matter is left unchecked, we may one day wake up to a full-scale outbreak of violence between the police force and the army, something which may run beyond our control. Before it is too late, let us safeguard the future of our country now. Very sincerely, James M. Colette, Representative District Number 2, Bon County. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, distinguished honorable ladies and gentlemen, that is the reading of the communication again from Honorable James M. Colette. Thank you, sir.
Honorable colleagues, with a communication proffered by our colleague, Honorable Colette from Bon County, what is your will and pleasure? Honorable Samson, we are.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, distinguished colleagues, having attentively listened to a well-written communication by the Right Honorable James Colette of Bon County, I move, if I can be seconded, that the proponent of this communication be afforded an opportunity to elasticize the content of that communication, and while others could still make some input as this matter being discussed in the communication terrorize. I was sitting yesterday, and up to present, there are others who still remain traumatized from the event. If I can be seconded.
With the motion put forward and then seconded, are you all ready to vote? Already, we'll have a jury.
Thank you, Mr. Presiding, Mr. Co-Presiding colleagues. Mr. Presiding, I want to agree with the movement that the situation yesterday had traumatized the entire country. It is good that this issue was brought to our attention as leaders. And because we are leaders, we must handle it at the leadership level. With that being said, to the movement, I will be ready to vote, ready to consider this simple amendment. That the issue about being received and say it's a national security issue. It be referred to the Committee on National Security and Defense, and because of the urgency of the issue, that the committee be made to report within 1 week if my motion, if my arena was to be accepted.
To my
The movement. I think still we are staying confused over what decision we can make. Leadership will take seats on this platform because leadership take seats, please. It's highly security. Leadership take seats, please. Because of security nature. Next.
Communication from Honorable Margaret Thomas.
You know what he's saying? Just be there, please allow. You want to be fair, please go ahead, Margaret Thomas, communication. Before the bill be in this other manner.
Request for appearance of the management of Manor Oil Palm Plantation, Liberia. Honorable Speaker, Deputy Speaker, and distinguished colleagues, the Manor Palm Oil Industries Limited (MPOR) is one of the leading Liberia palm oil corporations since 2016. In 2019, Manor Palm Oil Industries purchased Sami Dali, Liberia, which was then named Manor Palm Oil Plantation. Manor Palm Oil Plantation is now amongst the leading plantation companies in Liberia, with palm oil being the predominant crop, covering 10,324.72 hectares that have been the capacity to export out of Liberia an average of 10,000 MT per month of ECOWAS certified CPO and CPKO. Honorable Speaker, we are pleased to elevate to this August body several complaints from the residents and workers against the plantation, ranging from bad labor practice, inadequate safety measures that have caused the injury and lives of plantation workers, the plantation illegal encroachment of land outside of concession area, improper management of the farm as it's left very butchy and risky for workers, failure to provide lightings for the construction areas, inadequate buses to commute the students to school, the local schools are not conducive for the students, the plantation failure to make payment of land rental fees to affected community. Additionally, the Manor Oil Palm Company has refused to enhance local employment in senior capacity as the agreement, which indicates that 50% of the employment opportunities should be given to Liberians, while 75% of employment should be provided to Liberians to top management position at the company. The failure of the company to improve the infrastructure and provide adequate housing for local workers, protection or benefits for employees not forthcoming, issues with dependents, huge financial obligations with the community, and delinquency in the payment of corporate social funds to the county. Mr. Speaker, with all of these irregularities which substantially violates the conceptual agreement, clearly indicates that the Manor Oil Palm Plantation lacks the capacity to maintain the plantation, which will impact the livelihood of the residents and adequately develop the county. Our lead there of the aforementioned We crave the indulgence of plenary for the appearance of the management of Mano Oil Palm Plantation and the Bureau of Concession to explain the delinquency and not performance of the plantation. With sentiments of my highest esteem, we remain as we continue to serve our people as their deputies. Best regards. Sincerely yours, Honorable Martha M. Thomas Anthony Alon, Representative District Number 4, Masurado County, and Chairman Committee on Elections and Inauguration. Mr. Speaker, Mr. Deputy Speaker, distinguished honorable ladies and gentlemen, that is a reading of a communication from Honorable Martha Thomas. Thank you, sir.
With the communication proffered by the Right Honorable Gentleman from District 4, Masurado County, Honorable colleague, what is a great pleasure. Honorable Emmanuel Dara.
Mr. Presiding, co-presiding, distinguished colleagues, having listened to the reading of communication from our distinguished colleague of District Number 4, Masurado County, I move with the anticipation that will be seconded that this communication considering the fact that a joint committee has been established to look into all of the MDAs, that such communication is sent to that committee in support of our honorable colleague. And that the proponent of this communication serve as a resource person.
That this communication be added to the committee, the joint committee that's about to review all the MDA and conception. Are you all ready to vote? Yeah. All those in favor say yea. Against, abstain. Honorable Chief Clerk, be acted accordingly. Next.
Communication from Honorable Arizona Paul. Honorable Richard Nawekun, Speaker, House of Representatives, Capitol Hill, Capital Bypass, Monrovia, Liberia. Dear Honorable Speaker and distinguished colleagues in section.
Observation.
Mr. Speaker, the surpluses of that this year, and also when you come to church today, you don't raise quorums. But equally so, we need to understand that most of these concessions are operated in counties. And it might be unfortunate that some of these, the committees that have been set up, there might be instances where even the caucus of the county are not members of these committees that are set up. So there should be a caveat that if there is a concession that is being reviewed in a particular county, the caucus of that county should also serve as resource officer to the review process. I just wanted to add that.
Noted. Well in place. Please continue with the Mr.
Dear Honorable Speaker and distinguished colleagues in section, I write to request the appearance of the Minister of Internal Affairs and the Director General of the Civil Service Agency before this August body to provide explanations regarding the ongoing payroll issues affecting district commissioners, township commissioners, and traditional chiefs. It has come to our attention that since the President took office over a year ago, many appointees at the Ministry of Internal Affairs have not been placed on the government payroll, and chiefs who were previously on payroll Additionally, some commissioners and chiefs who were previously on payroll have had their name removed without explanation, resulting in the abrupt stoppage of their salaries. This situation has caused significant hardship for the affected officials who continue to serve in their respective capacity despite these financial challenges. It is crucial for this legislature to understand why these payroll irregularities have occurred and what measures are being taken to resolve them. Sincerely yours, Honorable Alexander Paul, Co-Chair Rules, Order and Administration, Electoral District Number 1, River G County. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, distinguished honorable ladies and gentlemen, that is a reading of a communication from Honorable Alexander Paul. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker. Honorable colleague of the communication offered by Honorable Alex Paul. What is your will and pleasure? Communication guy, Honorable colleague, what is your will and pleasure from the communication offered by Honorable Alex Paul? Okay, good. Next.
Communication from Honorable Lemon Briggs Benza. Honorable Richard N. Kuhn.
For your communication. For your communication.
When the meeting was being done, the entire area was noisy. They did reread.
You are different or you did. Please move next.
Honorable Richard N. Kuhn, Speaker of the 55th National Legislature, Republic of Liberia. Dear Honorable Speaker and members, subject, concern regarding the accuracy and transparency of the assets declaration process. I present compliments and herewith express my concern regarding the process of personal property appraisal and the summation of asset declarations by government officials as stipulated under Chapter 56, Section 56.1 of the Liberian Code of Laws, which governs the declaration of assets by public officials. To this end, I respectfully request that the host invite the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission (LACC) to come and inform us of how they will investigate the assets that have been submitted by government officials. While the law mandates government officials to declare their personal properties, I believe that the current process does not fully meet the intended purpose of ensuring transparency and accountability. Specifically, the personal appraisal and summation of assets do not provide an accurate or realistic reflection of the value of properties, particularly in cases where these properties have existed for long periods. Many of these properties are situated in areas where the land and materials have either appreciated or depreciated significantly over time, making it difficult to assess their true current value. Additionally, given the recent increases in material costs and fluctuations in land value, I am concerned that the valuations submitted may not reflect the actual market conditions, resulting in misleading or unrealistic declarations. This could potentially undermine the very principle of transparency that the asset declaration process aims to achieve. It is important that we, as colleagues, collectively place attention on the processes to ensure that government officials accurately present their assets, free from fraudulent displays or submissions. Furthermore, there is a clear doubt of oversight in this process. Without robust mechanisms in place to ensure that the submitted asset declarations are thoroughly reviewed and properly appraised with risks undermining the integrity of the system entirely. I request that we look at this seriously and conclude on inviting the LCC to provide us the clarity as to how they intend to validate all assets that are submitted. Thank you for your attention to this important matter. Kindly find attached my declaration of assets. Kind regards, sincerely, Honorable Mwema Briggs Mensa, Representative Electoral District No. 6, Bon County, Republic of Liberia. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, distinguished honorable ladies and gentlemen, that is the reading of the communication from Honorable Mwema Briggs Mensa. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Deputy Chief Clerk. I think plenary have taken a decision already as it relates to each member that have not declared the assets to pick up a form from the Chief Clerk office, and then Tuesday we and both the deputy will be leading the group to submit our asset declaration on Tuesday. Noted. Motion for extension.
The second letter from
okay. Be pause a little bit. The problem is getting the clarity of what you propose.
Thank you, Almost Speaker. My distinguished colleague and co-presiding. Almost Speaker, what I'm seeing here is the intent of this law is very good. But people are just sitting behind the desks declaring access. And we don't know if you got this position and you're thinking that the next 2 years and I'm in a position of 3 years, these are the things I'm going to acquire. So you just read it on paper. Let LCC come and tell us what is the monitoring aspect or what are they going to do to validate these assets that have been declared. Now you see chief putting 10 goats, 15 sheep, and this. These things are very important because the intent of them was to curtail and make sure there is proper accountability and not corruption put to stop. And now we see people are sitting in my office. I thought I got 10 cars, I got 5 cars, and then at the LSCC. 2 years later, when I bought 10 cars, I would say it was there before because nobody checked it. So, overall, I'm asking that kindly, we pay attention. This is our law. It is important that these things to be verified properly for us to not just be duplicating things around here. At the end of the day, we cannot account for it. So, overall, I'm asking, this is the same thing that happened. We said 45,000 car city. Today, all people bought 76,000 in the budget, and we started again. We're not using the budget law on them to reprimand them. Let NSCC come and tell us how are they validated. As they are posting our needs, let them tell us also how they're making sure the process be transparent. Honorable Speaker, and my distinguished colleague and co-presiding. Thank you. If we pay attention today, it will be very serious and important to the Liberian people.
Noted. We allow leadership to take 6 of this. We inform the chief clerk to invite him to leadership. Thank you so much. Now we invite to Alex for communication. I was muted due to non-performance. So we now ask Honorable Johnson William to proffer the motion to resurrect the communication of Alex Paul. Yeah, let's just make the motion. Please make a motion.
Honourable Speaker, Honourable co-presiding, distinguished colleagues, the caucus chair of 55th City is trying to disturb. Honourable Speaker, co-presiding, distinguished colleagues, the communication proffered by my colleague, the honourable gentleman, Alex Paul of Electoral District 3, District 1, River G County is very important, and having listened to the reading of that communication, it's important that this communication be open for 2 minutes discussion on why our colleague tabled the letter and for discussion because it's very important it affects every one of us here across the country. So I'll make a move that the communication of our colleague Honorable Paul be open for a brief discussion, and thereafter the actions should be taken consistent with the content of the letter. Motion there. The man is here. Where you going? The man is here. The other man, the man is here.
Please allow the proponent to give us a succinct explanation. After that, we can take a motion.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Co-Presiding, distinguished colleagues, I felt bad when such an important communication that concerns each and every one of us in this chamber was read and that colleagues present here were not paying attention. However, I want to say thank you to you, Honorable Speaker, for allowing the communication to resurface. Distinguished colleagues, the matter as raised in my communication concerns each and every one of us here, except you want to tell me that you do not have commissioners or local government employees in your district. Since His Excellency, the President, appointed local government officials, some of us, more especially me, officials from Liberia County, that prompted me to write this communication, have been here for the past 4-5 months. And these people have been promised on a daily basis. Every time they will say next month, the people cannot be placed on the payroll and they are just languishing in town here from place to place. As you know, some of us that live in the interior, our people do not have relatives or family or houses in town here. And the people are here, they cannot be placed on the payroll. Every time they will transport themselves, running up and down, going to the ministries, and they cannot find their way forward. Honorable Speaker, distinguished colleagues, this matter is concerning. Even as we speak, there are some local government officials that are on the payroll. All of a sudden, their names are disappeared and they cease receiving pay for a period of time now, almost years. Their names are disappeared from on the payroll. Okay, take for example, in my district, there are some town chiefs, some paramount chiefs, that the names have disappeared from the payroll, and I do not know what the CSA and the Ministry of Internal Affairs, what they are doing to solve this problem. And up to now, our people are still here. Honorable Speaker, distinguished colleagues, this matter is concerning. This is why I've decided to bring it to the attention of this body, requesting the appearance of the Ministry of Internal Affairs and the Civil Service Agency to appear before this August Valley to tell us what remedy or what mechanism they are putting into place to resolve this situation. Thank you very much.
Wait for Honorable Mensa.
So, to my colleague from River G, thank you for your communication. As you said, every one of us here have chiefs that are going through challenges. Because I know why it takes. You are so excited. You have been given job, and up to present, you're not on payroll, and nothing is happening. But another part of it, Honorable Speaker, that need to come to our attention. The latest report on the census has not been validated by us. And now I'm seeing a communication from Internal Affairs that are talking about cancerous cities that don't reach 10,000 threshold. And they are using the latest report that is on the internet, that is on the website. These are things that have the propensity of bringing problems in our country. So we need to bring, if even the Internal Affairs Minister will come to leadership to get a total clarity on the matter, and that we should know because so I move that the Internal Affairs Minister be invited to leadership to give a clarity and insight on the matter, and that it's affecting our chief and every other person. If I can be second there.
With the motion made and seconded, are you all ready to vote? Already, Honorable Joseph Williams.
Honour Speaker, co-presiding, distinguished colleagues, I'll be ready to vote when the movement to consider the inclusion for those who are supposed to appear on this matter regarding our local government service, that the Ministry of Finance should be added to the CSA and Internal Affairs. I'll be ready to vote where we to add the Ministry of Finance, CSA, Internal Affairs to appear for this hearing.
For my distinguished colleague, I so said.
With the amendment made, are you all ready to vote? All those in favor say yea. Against? Abstain? The vote is carried. Chief Clerk, please act accordingly.
The second communication from Honorable Member Briggs Menza.
Next.
Honorable Rachel Nambeku, Speaker of the 55th National Legislature, Capitol Hill, Capital Building, Oregon, Liberia. Dear Honorable Kun, subject, request for review and publication of government payrolls. In fulfillment of my representation and oversight constitutional duties as the representative of Electoral District No. 6, Bond County, I write to request that the plenary of the House of Representatives review and publish the payroll of the House. This action will foster greater transparency and accountability in the management of public funds, allowing the citizens of Liberia to remain informed about the allocation of resources within our government. In the spirit of transparency and in line with our commitment to uphold accountability, I further request that a similar review and publication be extended to the payrolls and benefits of the remaining two branches of government, the executive and judiciary. This initiative will help ensure that the actions of all branches of government remain open to public scrutiny and are in compliance with our laws designed to prevent speculation and corruption, particularly the Freedom of Information Act of 2010. Additionally, it is important to acknowledge that the legislative branch, specifically the representative, is often subject to criticism for allegedly receiving excessive compensation. However, there are other entities and leaders within the government who are making significantly higher salaries and benefits with little transparency regarding their earnings. This growing disparity and lack of transparency have led to public dissatisfaction, especially when these leaders are not held equally accountable for their earnings. A full and transparent review of all government payrolls will not only address these concerns, but also strengthen the trust and confidence of the Liberian people in their leaders. It is essential that all these branches of government demonstrate a commitment to transparency as it directly impacts public trust and the country's overall governance. By fulfilling this request, we take a significant step toward reinforcing the principles of accountability, equity, and integrity in the conduct of our government. Thank you for your attention to this important matter. I look forward to your support in promoting transparency and accountability across the government of Liberia. Sincerely, Honorable Mwema Briggs Mensa, Representative, Electoral District Number 6, Bond County, Republic of Liberia. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, distinguished honorable ladies and gentlemen, that is the reading of the last communication from Honorable Mwema Briggs Mensa. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Before we go to Mwema communication, we have to complete the motion, and then we amendment for the time to invite our witnesses from the Ministry of General Affairs. And remember, please, you have the floor.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, co-presiding distinguished colleagues. I move with the urgency and importance of our colleague on Paul communication that the Internal Affairs Minister, the CSA, and the Finance Ministry can be brought to this body on Tuesday to make clarity on why our chiefs are not yet been paid and all other issues that is being implemented that is not in conform with the legislature. If I can be seconded.
Can we move and seconded that to be invited to plenary? Are you all ready to vote? All those in favor say yea, against, and abstain. The vote is carried. Honorable Deputy Chief Deputy I can call it. We will now move on to Honorable Member Bridge Communication. We ask Honorable to pop the motion.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, co-presiding distinguished colleagues, let me firstly say a big thank you to the Right Honorable Member Briggs Mensa of Bond County. Honorable Speaker, considering the nature of this communication, I think it's timely that this communication actually concerns all of us. Honorable Speaker, few days ago, while on the internet, I saw posts that in 2023, salary for lawmakers was 17 million, and now it has gone to 24 million. Honorable Speaker, if they are discussing us in million, it's good for them to speak granular as well. So based on that, I move, if I can be seconded, that the proponent take the lead in this debate. And if need be, colleagues can join while we move on with the discussion, if I can be seconded.
The motion called for the seconded. Are you all ready to vote? All those in favor say yea, against, abstain. We ask the proponent to elasticize.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, co-presiding distinguished colleagues. Honorable Speaker, as you all know, the country is going through a crisis right now when it comes to financial wise. We are faced with donor funding going away and so. In our people's mind, have been said that the legislators are the one making all of the money. There is nothing you can do to convince them. As I say, I've been here for 7 years and I made $6,651 United States dollar. And when they put it in for the variable percentage, my 70% is $4,656.0.5. The 30% is 391,000 Liberian dollars. But still, people believe we're making 15,000, we're making 16,000, we're making 20,000, and everything. Almost Speaker, if we have not done anything for ourselves before, it's important that we take the lead, because when we call it the Lions Ministry to come and tell us about the salary, and nobody will tell me a secret, we are public servants, and as public servants, our issues should be published. Because it's the people taxpayer money that we use to get paid. So I ask that this body, we set up a committee that we will look at our salary and we will publish it on our website or to every institution, and we will call on the 3 branches of government nation. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you so much. Way forward. We ask Honorable Austin Taylor to proffer the way forward.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, I will move, if I can obtain a second, that the communication just read, written by my distinguished Honorable Member Briggs Mensa, and contingent on her elaboration also just made, I'll move that a specialized committee be established in order to look into the issue of salaries from this House and from the ministries in order to clarify these disparities. If I will obtain a second.
With the motion made and seconded, are you all ready to vote? Yes. All those in favor say yea. Against, abstain. The vote is carried. During the basic leaders period, I will name the committee. Next.
Communication from Honorable J. Clarence T. Banks. Honorable Rachel N. Kuhn, Speaker of the 55th Legislature, Republic of Liberia. Dear Honorable Speaker and Honorable Deputy Speaker, I hold your offices with the highest respect and high regards to this honorable body, the greatest legislature of the 21st century of this great nation, the 55th legislature of which I am very proud and blessed to be a member. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, and fellow distinguished colleagues, it is very saddening that since March 2024, FDA Managing Director brought my complaint to this honorable body that I put a halt to West Africa Forestry Development Incorporated, FWAFDI, and L&S Resources Incorporated, stopping government revenue. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, and fellow colleagues, plenary did ask the Agriculture Committee to handle this matter. The two companies operated over 5 years in my district without meeting any of their social agreements. 1. Many kilometers of farm to market roads. 2. 3 primary schools. 3. 2 clinics. 4. Payments of all salary arrears. 5. Many hand pumps. The above listed are just few to do among the list. During the committee investigation, members found out that all of my allegations are true, and up to present, the two companies have yet to meet their obligations. Moreover, Honorable Speaker, Honorable Deputy Speaker, and fellow colleagues, not only that employees have not been paid for more than a year and a half to date. At this point, former Speaker Kova asked Deputy Speaker Thomas Fala to take seat of the report, bring together FDA Managing Director, WAFDI Managing Director, Mr. Augustine B.N. Johnson, and L&S Black Manager, Mr. Ellis Nyamle, and me, Honorable J. Clarence T. Banks, to finally resolve this matter. On July 11, 2024, a meeting was scheduled by the Chief Clerk in Deputy Speaker's office for Tuesday, July 16, 2024 at 4:00 p.m. when all parties were to be present to resolve this matter. The FDA Managing Director and I were present, but WAFDI and L&S Resources Incorporated did not appear. Deputy Speaker, Honorable Thomas Fala presided over the July 16, 2024 meeting and mandated the FDA Managing Director to set a meeting within 2 weeks to resolve the issue between the companies and me, but up to present, Mr. Randolph Marek refuses to schedule this long-awaited meeting 8 months ago to present. In view of the above, I'm craving the indulgence of plenary to please invite the following authorities of FDA and companies managers to show cause of their failure to make sure these companies comply to meet the social agreements. Mr. Randolph Marek, FDA Managing Director, Gertrude Yale, Deputy Managing Director for Operation, former Technical Director for Community Forestry, Mr. Augustine B. N. Johnson, WAFDR General Manager, and Mr. Ellis Yale, L&S Black Manager. Respectfully yours, Honorable J. Clarence T. Banks, Representative District Number 2, Grand Bassa County. Honorable Speaker, Co-Presiding Officer, distinguished honorable ladies and gentlemen, that is the reading of a communication from your colleague, Honorable Clarence Banks. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Honorable Deputy Chief Clerk. With the communication from our colleague, Honorable Banks, always a waiting pleasure, Honorable members, Honorable Michael Thomas.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, co-presiding and fellow colleagues. We want to say thank you to our colleague from Grand Bassa District 2 for bringing to the attention of plenary this very grave issue as it relates to the failure of these institutions for the payment of amounts that are due the communities and districts that they are functioning in. With that, Mr. Speaker, I want to move that as per the communication, that the management of this institution be allowed to appear here along with the FDA management to show cause why they have deliberately refused to honor those financial activities under their own FDA and also their contract with the FDA and the government of Liberia. I so move.
If the motion put forward been seconded already, are you going to vote? Honorable Johnson William, already there.
Honorable Speaker, Honorable Co-Presiding, distinguished colleagues, the letter proffered by Honorable Banks of Grand Bassa County, District 2, helps to raise the same issue as the people of Liberia has with the FDA. As we speak, we still have the internal problems that have been created, especially so in the Glaro area in my district, arising from Euro lobbying, which has been under agreement by the government since 2013. So I will be ready to vote when the movement will kindly consider that the appearance by FDA and all these institutions that include similar information, financial information, performance information of Euro logging in Riverview County. I'll be ready to vote for you to kindly include, and when they are appearing, they should come prepared with that information.
So with the fact that the information is analogous, we want to accept that your login also appear with these institutions, since they have similar situation. So accept it.
With the amendment made, I will already to vote. All those in favor say yea, against, abstain. The vote is carried. Honorable Chief Clerk, accordingly. Next.
Communication from Honorable Emmanuel John. Honorable Rachel N. Kum, Speaker and members, 55th Legislature, Capitol Building, Capitol Hill, Monrovia, Liberia. Honorable Speaker and distinguished colleagues, I present my compliments as I write relative to the status of the Coastal Defense Project. It can be recalled that in 2021, a US $25.6 million project was launched to ensure relief along Liberia's sinking coastal land communities. The funds were donated from a tripartite perspective. The Green Climate Fund donated US $17.2 million. The United Nations Development Fund was to pay US $1.6 million, while the government of Liberia was to pay US $6.8 million. In respect of these donations, the project has been virtually dormant over the past 5 years. A coastal defense structure should have been built to hold back the sea, but nothing has been done. In view of the above, I make this clarion appeal to this honorable body to invite the Executive Director of the Environmental Protection Agency, Honorable Emmanuel U. Yabalo, and Honorable Augustine K. Dafwa, Minister of Finance and Development Planning, to provide a status update of the Coastal Defense projects. I am of the strongest conviction that this will enable us to effectuate a determination on a possible course of action to fend off a looming threat of sea erosion within our district. With sentiments for the consideration of my esteemed regards, sincerely yours, Honorable Emmanuel Dan, Representative District Number 7, Monserrato County. Honorable Speaker, Honorable Presiding Officer, distinguished honorable ladies and gentlemen, that is a reading of a communication from Honorable Emmanuel Dan, the police. Thank you, sir.
Honorable colleagues, the communication offered by Honorable Dan, what is the pleasure? Honorable Toes from District 8, Monserrato County.
Thank you so much. Honorable Speaker, co-presiding, distinguished colleagues. Having listened to the letter that was sent by my brother from District Number 7, I move, if I can get a second, that the proponent of this letter be allowed or be given 5 minutes to elasticize and expatiate on his letter. Thank you.
The motion performed. The motion performed being seconded. We now ask the proponent. No, are you all ready to vote? All those in favor say yea. Against. The proponent, please. Now, the Lord coup d'etat.
Mr. Presiding, co-presiding police, let me say thank you to my colleague from District Number 8, Monserrato County, Honorable Toes, for that motion. Colleagues, may I inform you that this vicinity where we hold our sessions in recent time falls right within District Number 7, Monserrato County. And I believe for about 3 weeks now, you've been enjoying the hospitality, the protection of the people of District Number 7. And I'd like to inform you that they extend special greetings, which means that they are going to get the full support of all members of this body. Colleagues, very soon, the people of District Number 7, precisely the township of West Point, PSP, all the way to the Sub-Beach community, very soon will begin to experience sea erosion.
And every time these things happen, the lives and the livelihood of our people are at risk. We have seen properties of these people being swept away by the sea. We see lives being taken away. And we thought there was a time to put an end to this nightmare. I will inform you, Mr. Presiding, Co-Presiding, distinguished colleagues, that in 2021, there was a solution sought. And like the communication said, it was a tripartite arrangement. Then, to help remedy the situation, the Green Government Fund agreed to provide $17.2 billion US. Has any time been given? Is to anybody's guess. Also, the UNDP agreed to give $1.6 million to this project. As a time been given, is anybody's guess. The government of Liberia agreed to give $6.8 million US. Has time been given for this project? I still inform you, it's anybody's guess. To date, this project for 2021 to date, not one effort has been applied to remedy the situation. Not one work has been laid in West Point or PSP or East Coastal communities. I'm speaking for my district, but I believe each of us sitting here, a lot of us, our districts have been affected by this. Some of us who represent coastal districts. Mr. Presiding, Co-Presiding, distinguished colleagues, the people of District number 7 will be so much appreciated were you to join their representative to invite these people to come and give us status update. If they receive money, let the EPA tell us if they have ever received money for this project and what has been done. If the government of Liberia made the remittance of the portion of the money, let the people of Ministry of Finance come and inform us what has been done with that money. 5 years almost, if you receive money, nothing has been done, then it raises more concerns. This is very interesting. And I want my colleagues to please join me to invite these people to just answer a few questions and give us update. It's about time we begin seeing what we've done in our districts to prevent lives of our people being lost, properties being damaged. Distinguished colleagues, please join me to invite these people to provide us all of the answers that we have to ask, or questions that we have to ask and for them to provide the answers. On this note, I would like to submit and listen to my colleagues as they join me, give their support to this cause. Thank you.
Honourable Speaker, Deputy Speaker, let me thank the distinguished gentleman from District 7, Monserrate County for this communication. This is totally important to know that this country, money comes to the country to undertake and address externalities, especially in development and critical infrastructure in our areas. It is important. And so, I move at this point, if I can be seconded, that the Environmental Protection Agency, the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, together with the resident rep of the UNDP, be made to appear in plenary on next week, Thursday, to respond to plenary, address why this project is delayed and provide a comprehensive update on the all-important project if I can obtain a second.
I think we have to amend the motion. I don't think we have a territorial jurisdiction over the country rep.
All right. So accepted. So we, the Speaker, is going to waste some of your gavel. I revise the motion to invite EP and Ministry of Finance to provide comprehensive update on the status of the project at West Point.
With the motion made and been seconded, are you all ready to vote? All those in favor say yea, against, abstain. The vote is carried, and what you can be act accordingly. Quick announcement, I think we'll this is now. Quick announcement. Please be reminded that we are expecting our Ghanaian counterpart, the Speaker, the Right Speaker of the Ghanaian Parliament, on next week between the 6th to the 8th. We're also expecting our colleagues from Southern within that same time. These three countries removed their Speaker just last year. So the interaction on the basis of our reconciliation, the three speakers will be meeting between the 6th to the 8th for a reconciliation retreat for 3 days. And the Ghanaian speaker will be discussing the issue of reconciliation, looking at the rule of law. And our counterpart.
So folks, you have been following, like you say, a pleasant good morning, good evening, and good afternoon based on your location. My name is Yasa Suba, and I'm bringing forth this live broadcast from the Executive Pavilion here on Broad Street, Monroeville, Liberia. So let us just bring you a few updates from the agenda that was proffered here today. So today is the 12th day sitting of the first quarter of the second section of the Honorable House of Representatives of the 55th Legislature of the Republic of Liberia. The date is Thursday, February 27, 2025, and on today's agenda, section call to order, prayer, roll call, reading correction and amendment, and adoption of the agenda. Petition from the resident of Louisiana Township and concern Liberians, business men and women from District Number 1, Montserrat County. There was a report, call for special committees, and there was a motion, bills, and resolution. There was a communication from Honorable Yanji Flomo, Representative, Electoral District Number 2, Nema County, calling for the resumption of audit system of the House of Representatives. And also there was a communication from Honorable James M. Colley, Representative Electoral District Number 2, Bon County, craving the indulgence of primary to invite the Minister of Public Works, Justice, Director General, National Road Fund, and IPRC to provide updates on issues for payment of the road fund and other issues, serious other governmental issues were discussed. So folks, this is how I would like to call it a day. Wherever you join us from, we'd like to say Do have yourself a pleasant time. My name is Yasa Sua, and I've been here providing you with updates as it relates to the House of Representatives. As it relates to the House of Representatives, 12-day sitting of the first quarter of the second section of the Honorable House of Representatives. Until then, do have yourself a pleasant time wherever, however you join us from. My name is Yasa Suba, and